Well, g'day, and welcome back again to Zhaoqing. And this afternoon we're just out for a walk, sort of dodging between showers. It's been raining on and off all day. We've got well, it's not a typhoon anymore. It's been downgraded to a tropical storm. But yeah, we've had fairly breezy conditions here all day, and quite a bit of rain passing through. So today I got asked a question. So we've just done, I've only just uploaded the last video about DJI and my experience going and getting this camera replaced. And yeah, we sort of had to wait for the rain to stop. I jumped on my bike, raced out to the DJI store, got that all sorted out and raced back home. Just as I got home, it started raining again. So yeah, we've got a little break. I want to get out for a walk and have a little bit of an exercise while we can before dinner. But we got asked a question, and it's a really good one. I really like this, so I pretty much straight away grabbed my camera and went, right, let's go for a walk and talk about this one. So this is from BMK8018, who is a fairly regular commenter, a subscriber and stuff, so hope you're doing well. So his comment, or comment and question was, glad to hear you had a good experience. This is unrelated, but I was curious if you've ever had any interactions with the party. I hear that there are about 100 million members, which is less than 10% of the 1.4 billion population. Have you met or interacted with any of them? Just wondering if you know anyone who is a party member or anyone who's had dealings with and how does that work? Thanks for the video. Well, let's start with the end. No worries. Thanks for watching the video. As for the party, I'm guessing by the party, you're talking about the Communist Party of China, the CPC, not the CCP as certain trolls like to try and misname it as. But there are actually 9 I think it's 9 from memory. I might be wrong on the number. It might be 11. I'm pretty sure it's an odd number. 9 or 11 different parties in China. And as far as I'm aware, they are all represented in Beijing. Have I had dealings with party members? Almost, well, no, absolutely, certainly. As for which party, I couldn't be entirely sure. So, when I first came to China, I thought that the Communist Party here was the party. I thought, you know, I'd been told all my life it's a one-party state. And the first couple of years that I was here, I sort of carried on with that belief because I didn't know any better. And after I'd been here a couple of years, one of the guys that I work with in my school was in line to get a promotion. Now, when you're working for a government department here, and hold on, before I go any further, I must say this is my understanding. To the best of my knowledge, this is correct, but there might be nuances and things that I'm missing. But yeah, I'm going to give you the best answer I can. We might actually follow this up with another video in the not too distant future. Might actually look at the different parties in China and actually talk about you know, what their representation is, how many people are members of those parties, what their sort of platforms are, all that sort of thing. But for now, we're going to deal with the question as we have it. So, when you work for a government organisation like our school is, you know, run by the Education Department. It is a government institution. But regardless, whether it's education or in healthcare or, I don't know, the water board, the electricity, any government-run institution, if you are working for them, you don't have to be a member of any party. And I say any party, you'll understand why I say that in a minute. But as you climb up the rungs and you get into higher positions and positions of power within that organisation, there is a requirement that you become a member of a party. So you become politically involved because you're reaching a point where you're going to have power over the community. And you know, you're going to have a lot more power. I'm not exactly sure what the reason for this is, but I'm guessing it's, actually no, I'm not even going to guess, I don't know. But you have to become a member of a party. So my colleague who I worked with got to that point. He was being promoted and he had reached a point, a level in his career where to get promoted further he had to become a member of a party. Now at this point, again, I was still under the impression that the Communist Party was the party. And I said to this colleague, you know, we were having a drink or out having dinner or something one night, and I said to him, "Oh, so you're a member of the Communist Party now then?" And he sort of looked at me a little bit funny and said, "Well, yeah, I am, but just because I had to join a party didn't mean I had to join the Communist Party." And I was sort of like, "Hey, what?" I didn't know there were more than that. But then he told me, you know, there are, maybe it's 13 parties. I can't remember, but 9 seems to ring a bell for me. And so he told me, you know, yes, for my promotion I had to join a party. I didn't have to join the Communist Party, which was when he sort of told me that a number of the people in upper positions in our school are not members of the Communist Party. They are members of other parties. So they do have a choice as to which party they want to join. I think probably most will join the Communist Party because the Communist Party is in charge. And that's going to be, you know, if you're looking at upward mobility and stuff, even if everything is even and fair, you know, there's still going to, you know, there's still people running things. People are going to be biased. People are going to favour the people who are in the same party as them when there's these situations to be had. I imagine. I don't know. I could be wrong. So yes, I've definitely had interactions with party members. I never really ask. It's not a subject that comes up when I talk to people. I treat people, you know, I respond to people by how they treat me. I don't care whether they're in the Communist Party or any of the other parties. It's just not an issue for me. It's not a topic of conversation I've ever really pursued, but maybe I should. Maybe it would be interesting to try and learn a little bit more about how people get involved, why they pick the party they pick. It's quite understandable why people would pick the Communist Party, but I would be really interested in finding some people who are with different parties and finding out, okay, why did you not join the Communist Party? Why did you pick this party or that party over the Communist Party? It'd be really interesting, I think. Maybe something for the future, but yeah, we'll see. Could be a diplomatically awkward conversation as well, so we'll see about that one. But yes, definitely I've had interactions with party members. Most of the time I wouldn't know. I mean, if I meet someone and I find out their job is, quite high level in whatever organisation, whether it's a school or the police or whatever, I would have to presume that they are a party member, not necessarily a Communist Party member, but they are a member of a political party. But it's never been a topic of conversation. It's never been something I've ever had any conversations with just about anybody about. Like I say, my colleague at school, we chatted about this, but this was 5-6 years ago. So, I'm really dredging up the memories here to try and remember all that happened. But yeah, we might have to dig a little bit deeper on the different parties within China and do a video about that, because yeah, it's something I've never really thought of before. Right, let's have another look at that comment. Have I missed anything there? Read that there are about 100 million members, which is less than 10%. Have you met or interacted? Just wondering if you know anyone who is a party member or who's had dealings with, and how does that work? Okay, had dealings with and how does that work? I think, really, the CPC are the government here. So everybody has dealings with them in one way or another. How direct those are, I don't know. I've had interactions with police, other people in the education department. Never had interactions with the fire department. I had interactions with the health department. But it's never been anything related to anything that you could call party stuff. It's just been day-to-day ordinary interactions that happen in the course of the work or in the course of travelling around or seeking advice, or, well, during COVID, interactions with the health department because of getting vaccines and stuff. So, no, it's... And yeah, so I don't really know. I can't really talk to that. And how does it work? I imagine it works very much the same as, well, I can talk for Australia, but I imagine it would work very much the same as things work in Australia. If you've got something that you'd want done in your community, and you want to get a political party behind it, you go and talk to the political party. I imagine things are much the same here. If there's something that the people of Jiaoqing decide they want, they would go and talk to the local, probably Communist Party. I don't know whether other parties have offices here in Jiaoqing. It's not a big city. But yeah, I imagine it's very much the same as when you have political dealings with any other party in any other country. There's this idea out there that China is really, really different, you know? A lot of it comes from this just conspiracy stuff about China and the trolls and the bloody right-wing nut jobs. Actually, it's not even right-wing nut jobs. When you're talking media and stuff in the West, it's all of them. Left-wing and right-wing, they all pick on China. But really, it's not that much different from anywhere else. I was really surprised. You know, I came here expecting the world here to be really, really different. And people here are just like anyone else. You know, everyone wants to find, I don't know, someone to love. They want to buy a house. They want to get married, have children, have a family, get a good job, earn some money, have a decent holiday every year, all that sort of thing. The same things anybody else wants. And the government here are here to facilitate that. Probably more so than they are in a lot of Western countries. You know, I look at something like the American healthcare system, which is hugely expensive. It's, you know, from my understanding, the biggest cause of personal bankruptcy in America is healthcare costs, which is just mind-boggling. You know, I'm glad in Australia we've got Medicare. I'm glad here in China that there's really good insurance schemes and medicine is not that expensive. So, you know, you mentioned in your question that there's 100 million members of the CPC. And I think that's fairly close to accurate. But that leaves, what, 1.3 billion people, and if they're not being looked after, they're going to throw the government out. They are going to rise up, and they'll kick them out, you know, with that many people. So the government can't be doing that badly. People here seem, to me, to be pretty happy. Their lives are all improving. Their, you know, jobs are getting better, wages are getting better. Most people own a house, all that sort of stuff. It's, yeah, it's not the dystopian nightmare that China gets painted. And the government here, I've always said, I don't really care what type of government you have, whether it's a democracy or a communist government or a principality or a kingdom or a dictatorship. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. What makes a difference to me is the people who are in power within that government. And, you know, China at the moment seems to have good people running it, people who actually care about the community here, about the people who live here. And I think they care more than several other countries that could be mentioned. So, yeah, just to finish off, your original question, have I met party members? Undoubtedly, I've met many, but I could only actively name 2 or 3 that I actually know are party members and what party they are a member of. So it's not a discussion that I generally have with people. I'm not really interested. I don't really care. So I've got a little kitten meowing down here somewhere. Oh, he's underneath the underneath this little board here. See if we can see him under here. Hello there. The Cat's in the school having kittens. Mum must be off looking for food or something along those lines. So, yeah, the party stuff, it's not something I've really looked into. It's not something I've ever really been interested in. As long as the country's going along well, I don't really care what party or what system of government we have or anything like that. But it was a good question. I mean, you know, it's a good question when as soon as I read it, I pick up my camera and go out walking and make a video about it. So yeah, thanks for your question. That was a good one. And I will try and dig a little bit deeper. We will look into what other parties there are here in China and what their sort of policy platforms and stuff are, and how they, it'd be interesting to actually hear how they all interact with each other as well. You know, you look at sort of left and right in places like Australia or America. I don't know much about Britain, but I imagine Britain's much the same. And left and right often at each other's throats with the slightest little disagreements. It'd be really interesting to see how the different parties here actually interact with each other. How they work together and how they get things done. So yeah, we will dig into that a little bit deeper and try and find out a bit more information, because it would be cool to know. But for now, that's going to do us. I'm going to go home and cook up some dinner. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you've enjoyed that, hit that like button, share with friends, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. Questions or comments down the bottom there. If you come up with a good comment, just like this video, I'll come and make a video and answer questions. And if there's anything else you would like to know about life here in China, in Guangdong, especially here in Jiaqing, as always, down there in the comment section, hit us up. If you come up for a good idea for a video, we'll go away, do the research, help you learn what you want to learn. And the last thing, Facebook, a Scott in China, again, come and join the group there. I'm posting photos, other sort of little news articles, things like that. Different sorts of information, entertainment and but all sort of based here in China. Stuff that I can't do videos on. So yeah, come and join the community. But for now, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you all in the next one. Cheers.